Hello, my bead friends. I'm so excited to be joined by Danielle Wickes today. Hi, Danielle.
Hi,
Uh,
Sam.
for the official unboxing of our latest gem box, Seaside Escape. So we'll be taking a look at everything in the box. Danielle will be demoing, I'll be demoing, and we hope to just provide you tons of inspiration with this latest gem box. We are actually nearly out of this box, so if you are interested, check out the link below this video. It is packed full of pearls and beyond. We'll take a look now. It's all about fun treasures of the coastline. We're going for a really the feeling you can get just sitting by the beach and all the lovely treasures around you. So
Yes.
Danielle, shall we take a look at this box?
Yeah, let's see it.
So Danielle got a little early sneak peek of the box so that she could start toying around with it. And so Danielle, I'm curious some of your favorites from this gem box. What like instantly called to you?
Those cranberry colored pearls.
Oh,
Those
I'm so honored.
were those a you pick?
So it was a team effort, but these were both the pearls were a Tucson find, the pearl mix and the pearl strands that we'll get to. And so this one, as you can see, is actually obviously more than one pearl. And we made this blend from some pearl strands we got in Tucson. We thought it'd be a more fun way to get to give a variety of colors. So you said the burgundy really called to you the most?
Yeah, but I loved the golden as well.
Yeah, because we wanted that extra little touch of shimmer wherever possible, which is also why we included these hammer tone chandelier components. These are made from raw brass, so there's a lot of potential of what you can do with them. It just gives that golden sheen to the box. So we talked one pearl. The other pearl is we're able to do a full strand of these potato pearls. And it's actually also a color blend on the strand. It's a little bit of a subtle mix here. But that's where the box started. We love that pearl touch, offer that seaside feel, like you're just relaxing by the shore in a like nice little in an elegant manner. What else called to you as you start to work with the box?
Oh, my next favorite were the labradorite chips.
A personal favorite of mine. This was definitely a Sam edition.
They're really sparkly. They're like very stunning. When you open them, they're eye-catching. I've used almost all of them in like two different.
I can't wait for y'all to see what Danielle did with the lab chips. I was very impressed with the batch we were able to get for this. This is pretty hard to get lab at this quality and this consistently. Like there's so many pieces on each strand have that high shine, high polish. So that's just like bead joy on a strand to me.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Did you say it's beautiful?
Yes.
Oh, I am with my people. We didn't even see who's with us today. We got Wendy and Lori and Lisa, Fran, Cherie. Welcome, everyone. We got Shira in the house. All right, let's take a look at some of our peachy tones. So that would be our Moonstone Rounds full strand with some of that adorescence of Moonstone in there, along with Sunstone. Excuse me.
Is that the strawberry
quartz with the strawberry quartz?
It does look like Moonstone then.
It has a little bit of sunstone look to it, but definitely strawberry quartz. And it was a different mix of strawberry quartz I'm accustomed to. I like that it had a little bit of that peachy quality to it. So I thought these two were a nice pairing to complement each other in the box. And then, I can't resist a bead with shine.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that one. Look at that shine. Jeez. Super fun. We got to talk about the blues, Danielle. We did the labs. We also have two different Amazonites with the cubes with a really nice deep quality for that color. And then some faceted squares as well. They feel I like the idea that these mimicked each other a little bit with the square cube theme.
They're wonderful. And the shine on those cubes, they are really stunning in person. Like they're eye-catching. Like when I first opened them, that pop of color is exactly what you needed. And when next to the labradorite, they really do like they have something happening there. Something really good.
There's a little bit of magic that happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that blue felt important. We rounded out the blue with a little bit of African glass. Actually, this is some African trade beads. These are made from recycled glass, and they just had that feel of just like a little bit worn by the waves. They're matte, a little etched feeling, and a little freeform, like they've been tumbled. And so I like that chunky quality in case you wanted to feature that at the center of a piece.
Yeah.
Have you had any ideas with these yet?
There's one I have not implemented yet, but I thought they would be cool as the focal on a necklace and also as a chunky bracelet.
Yeah, I think so. I think they like if you wanted like a simpler piece, these two would complement each other nicely for a simpler necklace.
Oh yeah.
Just that I would probably just use maybe 5 pieces of the blue as the focal on the necklace. And then we wanted a little bit more blue, so we went with some azurite malachite pendants. These are top drilled ovals. And we're able to include 2 of these pendants in each box. So each person, which is cool because each one's so different. We made sure to give some variety in each box. And I believe you did some designing with these, right?
I did, yes.
So folks will get some inspiration using these pendants. A really nice value to be able to include the azurite malachite in the box. I think that would take us to the turtle jasper editions. We did two shapes of turtle jasper. Everyone got 4 pieces of a nice size rectangle, and then 5 pieces actually of these top drilled brios that are pretty much pendant size.
Oh wow, so pretty.
So it's a more unusual stone. It provides a little bit of the neutral contrast to the box, as well as some cool patterns that are just natural to the stone. Even those subtle hints of some oranges and pinks in there. And so lots of possibilities for those, along with the other neutrals, which would be these shell hearts.
Yeah. Love those.
And the cabochon. Everyone got their own fossil coral cabochon. And each one's different. So that's why Jesse put a photo of like 9 of different ones, because each one is lighter, darker, smaller, different patterns. Everyone has their own cabochon. And I have an idea with these that I just started working on that I'm hoping will work, because maybe not everyone has used a cabochon bead. There's no hole on that. So it's provides some options for wire working, for adding a bail, or I came up with another possibility that I'm testing right now that we'll see. We'll surprise later in this video if you don't want to wire wrap your cabochon.
Oh, that's awesome.
So did we miss anything? I feel like I think we covered our bases. It was just a lot of gem was the goal in this gem box. So can we take a look at some of the first pieces you made with this box?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm just gonna switch my camera really quick.
All right, let's switch over to Danielle, who's been designing with this box, and you guys can get a little sneak peek at what she's been working on. Oh my goodness.
Is it like
I don't know when she sleeps.
I try to sleep, but when I can't, I just bead. So it kind of works.
Wow.
I had a lot of fun with this box. I did dive right in with these pearls and the labradorite because I immediately saw those together for some reason.
That was the instant first piece I noticed in your photo. The contrast of the burgundy mix with the labs is exquisite.
It's so earthy. It has such a good feeling to it.
It's earthy and it's elegant. Like I could see you've actually dressed up those beads by putting them together.
Thank you. Yeah, I just love them. And it has just so much like a cool feeling to it. I just like the way everything about it, everything. And then I felt like this color really complemented the beads. Like you can see how this is the neatest stone ever. It has this pops of blue and green together kind of.
Yep, because that's the azurite malachite forming together. The little jasper in the mix as well.
And it pulls color out of the labradorite next to it. I just really liked seeing those next to each other. So I taught myself something that was new to me. I just how to just do a very simple wire bezel.
I'm excited to see how that comes together because I struggle with that sort of technique. I haven't really, I guess, well, it's not that I struggle. I haven't really tried.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I'm excited to see how that works and maybe try my hand at it.
Oh, I hope you'll like it. It grew on me. I started really enjoying creating with them, and I experimented on the cab because these have holes, so you don't have to cab. What's it called? Bezel these, I guess you'd say. But this
Yeah.
one, I can't wait to see what your plan is for this.
Yeah, it's funky, and we'll see. I'm really hoping for it.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see it.
I'm trying to turn it into a 2-hole bead.
You are?
Uh-huh.
Hang on.
Without drilling.
Without drilling. I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see.
And then I love the earring you've got going there using the chandelier piece.
This one was I think this was actually the second thing that I made because instantly I just saw an earring with those since I had 2 of them, and you can use those colors together with the gold. Oh my goodness, so pretty.
And so folks notice Danielle's gone for the smaller size beads for those earrings. So it's the 6mm strawberry quartz, 4mm Amazonite cubes, 3mm shell rounds. So really focusing on some of the smaller beads so that they could lay nicely for that chandelier component.
It's so
And then
lovely.
just a lot of simple loops. So it's totally doable. That technique is very, very doable and it ends up looking quite full and rich of a design.
So easy, and just with beads like this and this gorgeous component, it's like simple techniques is all you need. It's so pretty.
Why don't you show us one more piece and then we'll dive into some creating?
I'm excited about this one actually. This one was really fun. The moonstone with the amazonite, of course, and look at the sparkle on that.
Oh, that's unique.
It just made me think of like Flash, which made me think of lightning. So I made
I was thinking like Avengers or something, but yeah, it's probably the Flash. That's cool.
That might be too geeky, but I was just having really fun. And then the back, you just get the stones by themselves, but they don't spin on you. So you could make those if you weren't into I couldn't decide. Originally, this was supposed to be the back, but then I loved it so much, I flipped it.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, if we have time, hopefully we might be able to see kind of how that comes together because that's a really nice way to feature that shape. So now I'm extra inspired to jump in. We're going to start with the bezel setting today that Danielle's done on both the fossil jasper cabochon as well as the azurite pendant there on her pearl lab necklace. So you can see it's the same technique for both. So what supplies do we need to start this project?
You'll need 2 sizes of craft wire. And again, it's pretty flexible. Like you could get away with doing more than a few variations, right? But I used some 22 gauge and some 20 gauge craft wire.
Okay.
And so I'm a little low on my 22 gauge. I might actually work with copper on this one. Also be fun to see copper on this. So maybe I have enough. Not sure.
I'm kind of dying to see copper on that.
You want to see copper on? Okay.
Well, how much wire do you need to do this?
So you'll need for the 20 gauge. I used 10 inches on the small one and 12 inches on the larger one, and that's times 2 because you'll need 2 wires. So first step is you cut 2 lengths of 20 gauge, somewhere between 8 and 10 inches, and then you'll need 3 separate sections of 22 gauge that are about 5 or 6 inches each.
Okay.
Those become these little sides. So there's the 22 gauge there.
It's so tightly wrapped. I just need to know how this happens. This is so cool.
Oh, thank you. And it's actually, as far as techniques go, I think it's just a combination of a bunch of beginner stuff. It's just the part that I think takes the most time is just getting everything lined up. And I work really slowly with wire. I'm a really slow wire person, but I just take my time with it,
You're a speed demon when it comes to stitching.
Yeah, stitching I can do fast because I don't know, it's just more forgiving, I guess. But with wire, I'm so cautious. I don't know.
Huh.
It's kind of forever if you have to start over if it's not perfect, right?
You got to tell the wire what to do, Danielle.
Yeah, you gotta be the boss of my wire. It's true. But you know, it came out pretty well because the first try didn't work for me. And I tried a few different versions. I tried one of those really complicated ones, you know, where you do the tiny 26 gauge around and make
Oh,
the
yes.
Still on my wish list to learn how to do that. Still on there.
Special skill.
It is. Mine just don't look presentable enough that I feel proud of them yet, but I understand the technique and can kind of replicate it and get a result.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm kind of a perfectionist like that. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing about wire is like that's so interesting because actually I find wire somewhat forgiving. If I don't put my stitch in the right place, I now have like a cluster of sea beads that doesn't do anything.
Aw.
And so maybe it's just where we're comfortable.
That's true. Yeah, because I guess I've been stitching for a while at this point. Lost track of how long.
And the amount of stitching projects you do each week, I think,
Might be a
probably
little
contributes
excessive.
to your efficiency.
It's kind of my happy place. I don't know why. I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and I was like, I don't know. I just like to sew things. I don't know.
Just to sew things.
I just like to sew things. Yeah, there's that motion of the hand going through the fabric. I don't know why that seems to just appeal to me.
Are you able to watch things while you stitch?
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on what I'm doing. If it's something easy for me, then yeah, I can definitely.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I distracted. So take us through the steps here.
Oh yeah, no worries. So these are 20 gauge, and I went ahead and did 10 inches on each of those. And then on this one, this is about, get you a measure, I eyeballed it, but this is 22 gauge, both craft wire. And this one is going on, well, this one is actually only 3 inches or so. So it just depends how many coils you make. That's why it's kind of, it's not a set in stone measurement, just if you want to make a few coils like that.
So to speak.
Yeah, and then also your comfort level. Like if you're working with super soft wire, it's not as big a deal. But if you're working with harder wire, you need more to hold when you're wrapping it.
Mm.
And so I just placed this over. I'm in the center here. Let me try to center that a little bit. So you can slide this around, so it doesn't need to be perfect right now. But just kind of eyeball the center and lay that 22 gauge over it. And then just start wrapping as best you can. Mine really aren't pretty at first. I just have to kind of adjust them with chain nose. And again, just as many as you want to do. And some chain nose pliers. Actually, those are right here. And I did try to end the wires on the same side. So I've got this one ending here, that one ending there. So that you can kind of put that side toward the stone so you don't see the tails. So lift that a little bit and trim this one. And so I'm just going to roughly put that in the center there. And then flatten those tails down.
Would you just go over the lengths one more time just to make sure folks are following? So that the 2 long wires are...
Yeah, these are 10 inches, the long wires, and that's going to be just enough. But if you're trying to figure it out for other sizes of stones, it kind of surprised me how much it really needs. It's kind of a lot. But one way you could kind of think about it is you could measure around a stone. So you can take and from its apex to, so 2 inches. So keep in mind that it's got to go around and around, and it's going to indent in 2 places. So that's 4 and 4, and then on the side 4 and 4. So you're going to want to have about 8 inches or so at least. I went with 10 just because I want to make pretty flourishes at the top. And you also, it becomes its own bail. So this length has to both travel around, connect, and become a wrap at the top.
Some high expectations from that wire.
Yeah. And then I made a couple, and that was the mistake I made on my first couple of tries, was I really underestimated how much of this to cut. and I got up here to the top, and I had these just little tiny things I couldn't make any curls with because it wasn't enough and then I wasn't smart enough to figure out how to use them when they were that short. So I had to trim them and start over.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there's a way. But...
Well, you're saving us some headache with that tip there then.
Oh, hopefully, yeah. Definitely one of those things that you try a couple times and you got it eventually.
And I guess because each person's cabochon's all different size, like there's gonna be some micro adjustments based on your piece.
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, you could always just go with that measure of 10 and overshoot it and save the little extras to become a simple loop on one of your other projects.
Yep.
That's kind of how I landed into the earrings. Was I had a bunch of little short little edges and things. And so for this next part, there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could decide now, or you could just not worry about it and slide them later. And I went with option B. Just kind of generally place them roughly around about where you think they're going to go, and then just repeat what we just did. But there's a thing we do after this that keeps them in the spot you choose. I'll show you that in a second. So just wrapping, and my wraps are always really spacey.
But that's where the tool just becomes so helpful, where your tool becomes so helpful.
Yeah, I live for those chain nose pliers on something like this.
Because I don't even know if the goal is perfect coils, but it's that you can make the micro adjustments to tighten them up as you go.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks so much nicer once I do that. But I watch some of the other folks that work with wire, like Rachel Malice, when she's working with wire, her coils, they look perfect while she's doing them. Like, oh my gosh, so cool. Yeah, mine are all like,
I mean, they're looking great to me.
Thank you. And so just one more just like that.
So you're basically prepping these 3 coils right now?
Yep, I'm creating the little edges that are going to hold the wire in place. Let me just do one more there. I can't remember how many I did on that side, but they're the ones that become these little edges.
Okay.
And the way you get them to stay in place is you take these wires here in between and you pull them apart from each other.
That's why the coil can't slide.
Yeah. Once you've got them where you want them exactly to stay, and then that's the step that you do very last. And then the part of making them look pretty is just kind of bending the wire in on top of the stone. Once you got a process, though, it's really not that long of a thing to put together, I feel like. All right.
Yeah, I'm starting to see how this comes together. It's not too complex.
Yeah, no, it's pretty easy. And so now we can pull the stone over to us and see about where we'd like these to go. So I'm going to just kind of hold it in place. And bend these up. And so these are a little high. So I definitely want to bring those down a bit.
Because you're trying to center it on the side of the oval there.
Yeah, I'd like them to kind of just be directly across from each other. And you could do more coils if you wanted to do a more complex design. But with just this many, you'll end up with a 4-quadrant setting.
Okay. Yeah, because basically I picked out each of the fossil coral for this box. They're roughly all that shape. They're mostly that oval shape.
Yeah, and I'll bring this one back over and show it becomes a little bit actually more oval-y here, I think, maybe. And so I probably could have, I could have been less aggressive with the indent on this one. I'll show that in a second, but it's really style-based. It's going to function even if it's like a little tiny lip. And even some of the ones where they aren't shaped, they still hold really solidly. And this is a really solid hold.
That's super cool.
And so, yeah, and thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and put the next step in there. I think I'm happy with where those are placed.
Uh-oh, bead train.
Bead train, deliver beads my way. Up here.
Who here has already purchased their gem box? Because I think some people has arrived for them. Some people it's arriving, I think, very soon for them. And if you want one of the last ones, you're gonna have to do that on the sooner side, because once we're out of this box, I don't think we're gonna be able to make many more.
Oh no, get your boxes. There we go. This part's a little bit finicky, just getting it centered. It doesn't have to be perfect right now, but you just kind of want to get it close. So getting that around the stone a little bit like that. So I think I'm okay.
You're giving a hug to that stone right now.
Yeah, it's getting a wire cuddle. And I did kind of bend at an angle just to kind of simulate what's going to start to happen there at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I did that while it was around the stone. It's not perfect yet, but it's going to get adjusted.
Okay.
So, but I'm happy with the position of these. So what I'm going to do is open these up. Oops. Just for now, just using my hands because I don't want to create any points yet. I just want to get those to open like that. On that side, on that side. Oops, and that one's moving on me a little tiny bit. A little wider there. Okay, so see how you've got something that looks a little bit like that? That in itself is pretty. Wow. Oops. Oh no, man down.
Oh no, save the stone.
Save the bead. He doesn't want to be bezeled. He's jumping one.
He's like, I want more cuddles.
Like, I want a string. And so that looks pretty good there. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, so lots of little checks as we go. Let's see if I can get it to. So for now, I just want it to kind of hold the stone. I'm not going to do the pretty part yet. So I'm just going to just get it to sit like that. So for now, we're just, and you could, if you wanted to, you don't have to do the little points. The points are nice and stabilizing, but it's going to kind of stay put even without them, to be totally honest. So now here, what you'll want to do is make sure, now we've kind of selected, hey, this is the front wire. That's the back wire. And I was careful to do on both sides the same wire. Up here, I'm going to do that same thing. Just going to bend one of these this way and one of these that way, just slightly. And do the same thing on the other side. Again, just being careful. I've got the same front and back wire. And then I'll just encourage this wire to kind of go around the stone a little bit. So see, just like that. I'm making sure I got that one there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm curious, what are you looking for right now?
It can be a little hard to tell that these are the same wires. So I want to make sure this wire is the same as that one. It's the same as that one.
Got it.
And same thing, I'm just kind of using my fingers. As you warm up the wire with your hands, you can kind of encourage it to do what you want without having to use tools yet. Once you're happy with this, and look, it's already pretty solid. Pretty good. But I'm going to get some square nose pliers. I like square nose. You could use chain nose. I had really good luck with the square nose though. So I'm going to go with those. Holding everything nice and steady. Just choose a spot and just bend up with the wire. So there's 1 and 2. So just made a little front part. Same thing on the back. 1 and 2. So now that's really solidly set there. And then here at the top, we'll do the top after we do the wrap for the top. So you're going to need some round nose now. And with the round nose, go ahead and just hold them like this and pick one. Pick one that's going to be the one that becomes the wrap. I'm going to just go with this one at the back.
Okay.
Bend it forward. And then you're going to need to take your tool and jump over those wires so you can get to the isolate just this one. And then I slide it back pretty far on the tool so I can get a wide bail. And then just bring this around. Turn your tool. Bring it around. So now you've got a loop. I just one of those. Now I've seen a couple of versions done where this loop is made with more than one wire, but I wasn't successful at making it look really nice. So I just like it with the one wire. But that's so optional. You could do whichever you like. Next step is I'll bring the not chain nose, well, these are round nose, back over all four. And through the loop on that one. So you're holding the loop, and I've got those four in the tool again. And if you want, just back here on the side, just kind of encourage them to sit as close as you can together, just like that. And then just wrap with this piece here. And if you want to use a tool assist, make that nice and tight.
I don't know. I don't know. Those coils are looking pretty good, Danielle.
Oh, thank you. And at this step, what I'm going to do is I want to bring this around one more time here at the back. So you've got all these extra ones. So now just bend them down. Just kind of that way. Maybe toward the front, because I'm going to make little flourishes with them. And now I'm free to adjust this one here at the back. So I grab my square nose, hold that steady, bring that one around. I'm going to trim that right there. And then if you'd like to use your round nose one more time and kind of adjust that so it's centered, you can do that. Okay. So almost there. I need to tuck this tail.
It's almost time to flourish.
Yeah, almost time. One more thing we still have to do is going back to those square nose. We just want to finish the top. Now that we have this tight,
okay,
we can move these a little bit in. So let's see, right about there. I do think the square nose is the way to go on this. And then here at the back. So, you know, a little bit freestyle-y, but really strong, really solid.
Yeah, absolutely. That stone isn't going anywhere.
Nope, he's there for good. You have to cut the wire, and even after you cut the wire, it forms around it. It's the copper is so soft, and as you just kind of form it with your fingers. And I've seen ideas where this design is much more like more going on, you know, where you can make this really special. Like you can coil circles and stuff, but you just have to cut enough wire for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like here at the top, you can spin it, and then, but it was adding a layer of complexity that it's like difficult for me to be consistent with. So this part, I'm going to train flush all these guys right here, or trim. Trim, and just make pretties.
Make pretties?
Yeah. And this is the fun part. This could just be anything you want. And it doesn't have to be flourishes. It can be, you know, like, even like, I wonder if you could wire jig stuff at this spot. Probably could.
You said use a wire jig?
I wonder if you could, because they're so long. I went ahead and made sure I had a lot of extra wire. Like I could have gone with 8 inches and it would have been fine. But I just really wanted to make sure I had plenty.
You're gonna have some really big spirals.
I know. I could always trim them, but
I'm a big fan of wire spirals.
I might be amateur hour for my spirals too, but here we go. Okay, so one cool thing about these is they can kind of cover up the back of the, where the tail is there. So there's one side. And this one might be cute on the front. I wonder what are some other ways you could use these extra wires to become something. You could also just trim them, right at the top where they're exiting the bail, but
I don't think that's as fun.
No, definitely not. Plus, you can kind of see it because I did do a few versions like that at first, and they were highly visible, the little pokey ubbies.
I suppose you could almost wrap around a bead potentially.
Oh yeah.
Like create a little nest around a bead using some of that extra wire.
Oh, one thought I had was stringing on some of the smaller beads. And do you remember like a while ago we did a class where we put a bunch of beads on and spun it around the top of the gemstone brio?
Yeah.
Something like that would work too.
I think definitely.
There we go. So that's pretty much it. Now just fun spiraling.
All right, Danielle's spinning out over here.
I have a bunch of songs stuck in my head from that, but they would all cause copyright infringement. That's one thing I was chatting about with a friend of mine earlier. I was like, I wish we could play music and
right?
Yeah.
No, because so many of us listen to music while we bead.
I certainly do.
I know some people watch the classes and turn on music as well.
These are so cute. I struggle to say which is the front and the back. I think I'll make this one the front.
Yeah, it's amazing how clean both sides are.
Isn't that cool? He's very spirally. And I could have brought that one to the front and then you'd have 3. This looks kind of like a vine. One last step and you're all set. If you want to take some really soft nylon jaw pliers, and here on the sides where you made your points, you can take the pliers and just press those down. It doesn't even really need it, but and that's it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because this one ended up being a little smaller. See, smaller looks good too.
Yeah, I like the contrast of the little one there. But I also love the one with the 3 giant spirals. You kind of can't go wrong.
It was me cutting my extra security wire there. It took me so long. But I think you could probably so the other things I saw that were a little more advanced was folks were making shapes with these, like leaf shapes and hearts and
oh wow,
kinds of really great stuff with that extra length. I think you can see just a little beautiful heart coming spiraling down and really cute.
This is a great technique, and so I like that you can apply this both to the azurite pendants and the fossil coral cab. I think you almost could do it on one of the rectangles of the turtle jasper too.
I bet you could.
If you want to give it some decor.
That would work here too. Yeah, in fact, a square stone would be even easier because you wouldn't even really need to indent. They would just kind of poke out like that. See? Yeah.
I think it would work.
It would totally work, yeah.
While your camera's there, do you want to show some of that Amazonite technique?
Yeah. The earring?
Yeah.
This one here. Yeah, so this was just a really long strand of 22 gauge. I did use German style in that case. So for this one. And it's all done in one swoop for the 3 stones. And then this is just a little dangle with a simple loop. So I did kind of make a guess at length when I first did it. So I'm going to overcut now. I'll measure it so we can say how much I cut. I think I'm just going to go with 10 again. It's probably way too much. No, I think 8 is fine. Yeah, I wish I was one of those people that measured. I just never do.
Here's some wire, see what's enough. Okay, cool.
And this one was just a total stream of consciousness. I was just having fun. Ended up loving it. So I'm sure that the 8 here, this is 8 inches, 22 gauge, is going to be more than enough, most likely. And then I'll show you how much is left, and you can cut less for when you do yours. All right, and so for the top, I'm just going to make a regular wrapped loop. Roughly, this part is really kind of up to you, but about 1 inch from the end. So just creating a little loop here. And it can just be two coils. It's just fine. I'm going to trim that.
Oh, in case we haven't shown it, can you put the Amazonite on the screen so we can see what direction we're going?
Oh, yeah. So right now, I don't really have a direction yet, but this is how it's going to look when it's done. But right now what I want to do is get the Amazonite cubes that I set aside for this. I had to separate them from my stash so I wouldn't use them. Because I had a pile going when I was doing my other designs, so I knew I have this one left to use. For example, I set aside everything I needed for the earrings. So I'm going to string on 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so just bring all 3 of them on. I'm going to create another wrap loop at the bottom, but we want to give it some air. Give a little space because we're going to want to have enough space for, and the way I give it air is I just move it a little back on the pliers. You know, normally when you're about to do a wrap loop, you work it right at the front of this. I just move it back a little. Give it enough air that you can get the wire in between these beauties. We only have to go behind it, really. We're not going around more than once, see? So just need a little bit. I'm going to finish my wrap loop here. All right. So I'm going to go around once and twice. This is still facing the same direction. 1 sec. All right. So bring it across the stone. So just like that. And it's going to try to spin on you. So actually the pliers kind of help. So it's kind of getting it to cross. And this is pretty even before you do this part, but hopefully I gave it enough air around the back of the stone. So, but we're going to go in between the stone and then around the front and then cross again. And squish that up a little bit. And go around the back again. Get in between the stones there. I might have needed to give it a little more air there, but I think it's still going to work. And so you're going to have these 3 crossing. So just kind of roughly like that. And then here at the bottom, just wrap around. There's once, twice there. So actually that wasn't terribly too much. So I measured 8 inches and I only have 2 left. So I could have gone with like 7 inches, but I wouldn't have had as much to hold on to, and it was really handy to have that. So, and And then just here at the front, same thing we did, kind of similar to what we did on the beautiful pendant. It's just, I'll make sure I go the right way. So I'm going to bend like that. Bend like that. Didn't get that exactly as grown as my last one, but this one just didn't quite make it, but I think I didn't give it enough air, but in general, that's how I did it. This first one came out a little cleaner.
It's a great technique because this works on all center drilled stones, basically.
Yeah.
As a nice way to keep them from turning too much.
Exactly. And I think I might redo this one because I want to have that wire going in between the stone and on this last one here. See, it kind of just couldn't quite fit because I didn't give it enough air. Well, it fits now. Now it's I might be able to clean that up actually, but yeah, so I'll play with it. These are kind of some of the ones where you do such a beautiful first one, and you're like, oh no, I got to do that again.
Too much pressure.
But then on the second side of your ear, you're not going to really see how, they're going to match. So
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Can I show you?
Yeah, you got something to show?
Well, I just was able to. I just was having some fun while you were demoing there. Flip the cameras.
Oh my gosh!
I was working on. Yeah, I did this whole necklace just now while you were demoing.
Oh my gosh!
And so it's actually not. It's It's obviously mostly stringing, and then the main little addition was I started stacking. I have to be careful because I've just started crimping it. I started stacking labs on head pins.
Oh my
and basically
goodness.
tried to match the length of maybe a little bit less than the turtle jasper brios.
Oh, those are
and
so
then
cute.
From there, I made a little gradient of the pearls, went with some strawberry quartz, and now I've just been doing some color block sections of the different materials. So I went back to the labs, mixing a little pearl. I was able to get most of the pearls onto this medium soft flex, but then a couple of the pearl types seem to have smaller holes and probably will favor a fine or extra fine soft flex, which is common for pearls. So all this one needs is a crimp, and it should be good to go. Well, got my wires crossed. And then I'll show you the other couple ideas I've got going here as well.
That is so pretty.
You definitely got me inspired with that burgundy pearl with the lab combo. So it's a little bit of a variation on that, incorporating some of the strawberry quartz as well.
Aw.
So I'm gonna get my tail trimmed here. This is like one of the most fun gem boxes. Each gem box, I don't know, it's hard to compare because each gem box has been so different. We had like that turquoisey carnelian one. In December, we did. What did we do in December? Oh, the holiday soiree with the ruby and the ruby zoisite and all that. That was really fun. And this one I feel like just took on a totally different colorway that feels very fresh to work with. And you can't go wrong with labs and pearls.
Never. Nope. Those are always perfect together.
So just getting my length adjusted a little bit. I went for about 20 to 22 inches in length in total. That's just my personal preference.
Oh, what a cool way to get your loops to be the same size when you crimp, though. That is really cool.
Well, I'm actually not squeezing it intentionally because this is my way of getting. I'm actually trying to pull length from the strand over.
Oh, I see.
As best I can. It usually works. Sometimes it gives me some trouble if something gets kind of stuck. Because right now the loop actually stopped adjusting. But I suppose you could also use it as a means of getting your loops the same. All right, we're going to call that a day. It looks a little bit larger than the other one. It's not tightening for me. Come on, there we go. I always find the second side just a little bit trickier.
Oh, it's
for
way
crimping.
Yeah.
Just a little bit less room and forgiveness. All right. I still like kind of a classic crimper. I usually use the Xuron crimper, but I think I have it at home because I love it so much. And
I do love my Xuron crimper. I just recently learned how to use the magic ones too.
Nope, I refuse.
You refuse? I was
I can't.
Time. I tried.
Yep, I also was one. I was like, I just didn't have good early success with it, and I decided it was not for me. All right, so I've got a necklace ready, and then the next design I'm working on, just a simple pearl design for the chandeliers. So for this one, I came in with a white quartz soft flex. I'm not actually sure if they even make this one anymore. I can't remember if it's the bone or the quartz they got rid of.
Oh, I think it's probably the quartz because I have recently purchased bone, I think. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't think I've seen the quartz lately. And so super simple here. I would use a gold crimp to match the brass piece, cut off my extra. And then these pearls are decently similar in size, so I should be able to match that up. Let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pearls in this one, but totally adjustable. I was trying to find like the perfect little dangle, but I just didn't have it. So I decided I'm gonna leave it as is for now, because I think it's actually quite pretty as is.
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Eventually you could put like a little brio there in the middle. I think would be nice. All right, how many pearls did I just say? Anyone remember? Eight pearls?
8? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's got 8.
We got 8 pearls, and then I got to show you what my idea is for the cabochon, and you can tell me if I'm crazy or not, because I think you'll know.
I'm excited to see it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. So yeah, all these pearls we picked up in Tucson this year, we didn't even know exactly what we were going to do with them yet, and then they became just the perfect basis for this box, especially because we were able to do a lighter pearl and this darker pearl mix to contrast.
Oh wow.
Oh, I need a crimp. Danielle.
You need a crimp. My crimps always run away.
What do you say?
My crimps always run away.
I know, so I only put a couple out at a time and then keep the tubes nearby.
Yes, definitely. I find that they get scooped up with my seed beads.
Ooh, little hidden crimps. But you don't use crimps as often in your stitch work.
Not usually, but for example, if I'm using the seed beads as a spacer,
Gotcha.
design, I just did some of those with the gem box, and I was loving it. But then I scooped all my crimps up into my tube. That's always a win.
It's too bad you don't have any more seed beads.
I know, right?
Or I guess crimp beads is actually the thing you wouldn't want to run out of.
I went a little crazy and just at one point stocked up on them because I can never find them. And I figure if I got a big enough bag, I couldn't lose the big bag.
Yeah, that's true. We keep a big bag of the soft flex sterling crimps. And then we also in the shop carry the Beadalon tubes. Those are number 2 tubes. Yeah. And I have really good luck with these in every color. So we sell the pack that has black, gold, copper, silver. And those work really well with various stringing materials.
Oh, nice.
No one telling me to Sarah Ayler, okay? But there's something about I really like the Beadalon copper crimp too, because the soft flex copper crimp tube is a lot thicker walled. So it's actually, you can't get as many wires through it.
Yeah, the copper. And I love working with copper, and so that's probably why I notice it more, but yeah.
And then, okay, my third and final idea of the day has to do with my cabochon. I was driving to work today and just thinking about, all right, you can glue a bail onto the back. You could do a wire wrap bezel. But I was also thinking, could I glue something onto the back to make it a bead bail, essentially? And so I started rifling through, and I actually found my coffee lover box extras.
Coffee lovers.
Which is, I think, the OG Danielle box.
Yep.
And found these table cut rectangles in there, and I glued those on with some E6000, courtesy of Shire's. Thank you, Shire, for your E6000. And so they're still setting, but I think they're decently set now. And I ended up putting 4 pieces on, so that to give myself some options here in case I want to. Actually, I would more so want it like an eye pin. This is kind of the moment of truth here, if this actually works. Because the idea was I wanted to be able to dangle below. I can now have a couple strands coming below the cab, and then be able to connect to 2 strands on my necklace as well, almost like a bolo style. So I think it will work, assuming these stick properly, which E6000 is plenty strong. I think it should be fine. And I got 4 connection points.
Oh my gosh.
I think it'll work.
You could even have like a multi-strand necklace? Like, oh my God, that's cool.
What do you, oh, you mean if I did them the other way, I could, Danielle, wait, now I have to glue another one.
I'll send you mine.
Oh, don't worry, I have all the rejects.
Okay, good.
Wait, you're saying if I glue them lengthwise here, I could then make it the center of a multi-strand with the strands going through this way.
Yeah, I missed the beginning when you said the direction, so I thought at first that's what you did.
Well, actually you're right. I could. There's no reason I can't. I can make it a 2-strand going this way.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
There's no reason. Actually, I could have easily adapted. It just depends what way I want it turned.
You can even have that pendant look cool sideways like that, and a collarbone asymmetrical.
Oh. Well, Danielle, I think you just hit upon something magical. Hold on.
Did?
Yup. All right, I need some more. I need like 2 strands of stringing wire. There's something here.
I can really see it like that, with just like a nest of, beautifulness around it, like the pearls kind of surrounding it.
Let's see. Okay, I need 2 strands. You just got me super excited. I'd actually like the idea more to just make it the center of a 2-strander.
Oh, it's gonna be so pretty.
Let's see. This is what I'm so glad we talked through this. All right, strand 1, strand 2. You know who loves gluing beads on beads is Nile.
Oh yeah, he's not afraid to use that Loctite.
Like he'll really layer things up.
He's been creating some really cool pieces lately. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you two together, such fabulous designers. So let's see. Even I've been craving using a little bit of blue. So this is a good little test. And then, folks, I think, were there a few more pieces that we actually haven't seen yet of what you made with the gem box that we wanted to take a look at?
Oh, I have a few more. Yeah. Yeah, you want me to switch over? Or wait, I can't do that.
Why don't you switch your camera over? Oh, no, you're already good. You're already good. So,
am I good?
Yeah. In a moment, I'll switch that. Yeah.
Actually, I was perfectioning and I redid mine while you were showing the last set of the crimp side. I redid my
Oh, the Amazonite?
Yeah, and I'm happier with it now. I was able to kind of figure out what I did before a little bit more, and it was all just the air. It just needed to go all the way to the back of the pliers when I did that first. Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, this test is nearly confirmed because I'm pretty sure this is going to be the direction for my cabochon.
Woohoo!
Because look how nicely that lays.
Oh, yeah.
Even still, I could actually turn it bolo style going this way as a strung piece.
Oh yeah, that has
There's
total
no-
bolo there too. Yeah, that's cute.
much possibility. Thank you for that inspiration.
Thank you for the inspo. That's a really good idea to glue the beads on the back like that. It's so neat.
All right, we got Danielle has worked on her Amazonite, but then she has a few more pieces she's actually made from this gem box to show off.
Yeah, so this one came out really nice. I'm happy with that now. I can't even tell apart my first and my second. So, woohoo! And then let's see. So I just let myself string. I was really loving this beautiful one. And this is one where I could use some spacers. And I love the way that the chain looks when I added the white shell. Those smooth rounds are so perfect.
And is that like an 11OC bead you grabbed?
Yeah, this is from a quartet that you have, a Toho quartet. And the one I chose out of there was Oxblood because of the way it pulls. Look what it does to the pearls.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I have another earring design. I was just really feeling the swirls with the wire. So a little dangle.
Is that a similar technique as the Amazonite, or would it be different?
Actually, almost identical. There's no little twist at the end, and I ended it one bead shy of the top, just to keep it looking a little seamless at the top. Or truth, probably because I ran short of wire. But I liked it, so I kept it. And another simple stringing, I decided to do an asymmetric mostly to go with this necklace here. I just thought that would be so pretty. So there's that earring. I did another wire focal with the turtle jasper, and this time I brought on the mother of pearls hearts. It's part of a beautiful bracelet.
Oh, that's cute.
This one is really fun to wear. It looks really cool on. So I really like wearing this one.
Oh, that's nice.
And I made it kind of tighter-ish so it stays put while you're wearing it. And then some beautiful stringing just for fun. One of them is like a mixed up betrayed.
Sorry, betrayed.
And this one is all simple loops, basically. Except for I did the pearl with a wrap loop because I had to go down to 24 gauge on that one. But the rest of them, just a really gorgeous, simple. Sometimes I just love to make a gemstone link chain. And I did that with kind of like a little bead soup.
Oh, it's a smart way to use up some of the odds and ends.
I still have tons left. I mean, like tons of the gems, but I basically at one point just scooped up my mat into this dish and made both of those bracelets with it. I still have all of this left. You see all that jewelry, and I still have all this to go.
Oh my goodness.
It's like a ton in here. I'll try to make it easier to see. I saved little baggies and stuff, but oh my gosh, look at all these gorgeous gems. I still have pearls. So I have another 4 pieces of jewelry here if I keep working.
Wow. I can't believe you have all that left from one box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Would you add also, can you also add to your mat the other finished pieces so we can see the full collection?
Yeah, let's do it. So here's my kind of bracelet collection here. And I'll put out one of each of the earrings just so you can see them all together. And then here's our pendants. This one I still need to make a chain for, and this one I still need to make a chain for. But I have plenty of beads left to make chain.
Yeah. I'm so glad we included that shell round. I feel like was a good little spacer addition.
Oh, this one made it for me because I was able to really do a lot with that. It was the perfect bead from like 4 places here.
Oh,
and awesome. Then those Amazonite cubes. So in love with those cubes. These are so beautiful.
We're always thinking a lot about the balance when we create a gem box or a bead box. Just because when you design, you don't want just like one size of bead. It's not actually that helpful. You want some top drill, you want some focals, some medium, some small. And I think by having that conscious, that's actually a piece of what makes it easier to design with a kit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could just take any of these and just go crazy and they'd be beautiful together. you'd literally just string them up together, and they would just be. I even thought about maybe a stackable. So, like one strand like that, one strand of the smooth rounds, one strand of pearl in each color, and stack them.
I can already see the Shira stacking bracelet with this box.
Yes, I can see it too. That's so pretty.
Well, I think we've been able to find a good amount of inspiration. I just started crimping a little bit like a bolo style.
Oh, you did?
I think that's actually the direction I'm going to go. So because I already had the 2 long pieces of softflix cut, I just crimped it, left some Amazonite and pearl, and then now I have lots of possibility for what I can do. I might go a little bit higher with 2 strands and then split them to start the necklace length for my bolo. To give it a little bit of length here before it splits off. So I'll have to find a way to basically connect them together before that split. But I think this little trick is gonna work.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh.
And by the way, go ahead.
When you said you were turning it into a 2-hole bead, I had no clue how you were going to do that. So that's so cool.
Me either. And if you do have a little extra glue on the back, you can start with like some isopropyl alcohol and see how that works. You could try. I've heard like acetone, something with, or no, actually, if someone said Glugon would be a lot safer to get a little of the extra residue, because that's just from being glued to the paper card. And we found it a little bit difficult to try to get that off of all of them. So some Glugon should get that off for you. And then you're good to wrap up your cab. And we hope to see what folks make with this box. I do hope folks will go to Gem Chat, our Gem Chat Facebook group, and share what they're making with the gem box. And let us know how your first attempt at Danielle's cab wrap goes.
Oh my gosh, I'm seeing you only have 13 left, and today's Friday the 13th.
Wow.
Go. You guys got to get them.
Yeah, they're going quick, because when we first launched the box, they went really, really fast. There's only a few left. And hopefully you can see just some of the directions you can take this box. It is a fun one. I mean, look at the shine of these.
No, they are. Oh my gosh, that pearl strand. It had
I remember having to do some convincing to get the hammer tone included.
Oh, I'm glad you got that included.
Just a little metallic component to help out the gems.
I love it. It's perfect. It's just it's so summer, it's so ocean.
Oh, that's perfect. So you got 2 options. Danielle's got the full long dangles.
Yeah.
Or if you want to keep them like a little bit shorter, there's many, like tons of options with the direction you can go with this box. So get creating, and we hope this inspires you. Please like this video, leave us a comment, not just in the live chat, but also if you leave us a comment below the video, that really, really helps. And subscribe to Sam's Beadbox on YouTube. Join our email list if you want to know about future classes, because we always give notice on the upcoming classes. There's a link in the video, but it's joinsamsbeadshop.com. Joinsamsbeadshop.com to join our email and text list. And in exactly a month, we are kicking off our Tucson in July event. It's a little bit of a birthday celebration. Shire and I have our birthdays in July. So we're doing a 2-week event with 10 live sales, 5 classes. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So you probably will get to see Danielle there, I imagine. Woo! I'm pretty sure you're on the schedule. Because we're doing one of the live sales is going to be themed for bead weavers.
Oh, really?
We've been scouting like gems like 3 to 6 millimeters, and then some things to go with. And Rachel's making seed bead mixes to match. We are really having fun getting ready for this Tucson in July event. So more info to come. Make sure on the email list if you want to know what is coming up. Anything on your end, Danielle?
No, I have seed bead Saturday tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm just doing some bead weaving bracelets with Odd Count Peyote.
So you can head to Danielle's YouTube channel to check out her weekly seed bead Saturday. I think around once a month, the Sea Bead Saturday features Sam's Bead Shop beads.
It does.
And sometimes you'll find them sprinkled in elsewhere as well, which we always love to see. Always just go support Danielle, and she provides some wonderful tutorials to check out. That's the Danielle Wickes YouTube channel.
Yep. Thank you so much.
And I think that's it for today. Everyone have a lovely weekend. Say hi to your family for me, Danielle.
Will do.
We always put extra mints in your orders for your kiddos.
Yes, those are much appreciated. They get excited.
And we'll see everyone soon. Have a good one, everyone.